How fermentation unlocks new flavors in food. The role of microorganisms in fermentation. Fermentation is a natural process where microorganisms like bacteria, yeast, and molds break down sugars and starches in food. These microbes convert simple compounds into complex flavors, acids, and gases. This process transforms basic ingredients into foods with new, often tangy, and umami-rich flavors, enhancing their complexity and depth. Development of sour and tangy tastes. One of the most prominent flavor changes during fermentation is the development of sourness. Lactic acid bacteria, for instance, convert sugars into lactic acid, creating the characteristic tang in foods like yogurt, kimchi, and sauerkraut. This sourness balances sweetness and adds a fresh, vibrant taste to fermented products. Unlocking umami through fermentation. Fermentation is known for enhancing umami, the savory taste found in foods like soy sauce, miso, and fish sauces. During fermentation, proteins and amino acids break down into smaller peptides and glutamates, which heighten the savory, meaty flavor of the food. This makes fermented foods particularly rich and satisfying. The development of complex aromas. Fermented foods develop unique aromatic compounds that contribute to their distinctive smells and flavors. For example, the fermentation of cheese and sauerkraut produces a range of volatile compounds, such as sulfur compounds, that give these foods their sharp, pungent aromas, which are part of their flavor profiles. Boosting nutritional value through fermentation. Fermentation not only enhances flavors but also increases the nutritional value of food. It can increase the bioavailability of certain vitamins and minerals, like B vitamins and folate, while breaking down anti-nutrients like phytic acid, making the nutrients more accessible. This nutritional boost also contributes to the overall appeal of fermented foods. The role of yeast in flavor creation. In products like beer, bread, and wine, yeast plays a significant role in fermentation, creating complex flavors. As yeast ferments sugars into alcohol and carbon dioxide, it produces a range of esters, phenols, and other compounds that contribute to fruity, spicy, or earthy notes in these foods and drinks. Altering texture and mouthfeel during fermentation. Fermentation changes not only the flavor but also the texture of food. The breakdown of starches and proteins can make foods softer, more tender, or creamier, as seen in the transformation of dough into bread or the fermentation of vegetables into pickles. These textural changes complement the new flavors, enhancing the overall eating experience. Controlled fermentation for desired flavors. The type of fermentation used, along with factors like temperature, time, and microbial culture, determines the final flavor profile of the food. For instance, long fermentation periods lead to stronger, more developed flavors, such as in aged cheeses or sourdough bread. By controlling these variables, chefs can craft specific tastes and textures. Fermentation as a preserving method. Fermentation also serves as a preservation technique, extending the shelf life of food while unlocking new flavors. The process of fermentation naturally creates an acidic environment that inhibits harmful bacteria, allowing foods like pickles and fermented meats to last longer. This preservation not only keeps the food safe but also adds unique flavors that improve with age. Expanding flavor horizons with fermented foods. Fermentation broadens the flavor palette in cooking, offering an array of tastes from bitter and sour to rich and umami. By incorporating fermented ingredients into meals, chefs and home cooks can experiment with novel flavors, adding depth and character to everything from soups and sauces to condiments and snacks.